guys, I thought I would just jump on and do a full tutorial. I posted on my Instagram last week whether you guys prefer watching the little quick videos that I do or whether you would prefer to see like a longer, more in-depth full tutorial, and most of you had said you prefer a longer video. So here I am, I'm going to show you exactly how I do my skin with my top 7 products. So for the last few months I have been using the Pixi priming oil just to prep my skin before my makeup, and you only really need a couple of drops of this, and sometimes I like to mix it in with my moisturiser as well. So this contains vitamin C and it's really hydrating. It absorbs really nicely into the skin as well, so it works really well like underneath makeup, but also where I've got really dry skin here, I'm finding that it's really nourishing that area, so my makeup's going on a lot smoother when I've got this underneath. I'm then going to go in with my absolute favourite foundation, and this is called Teint Miracle and it is by Lancome. I'm just using a London Copyright brush just to blend this foundation into the skin. I do prefer more of like a dense foundation brush just because I like sort of quite a good coverage, and I find with a dense brush it doesn't soak up too much product. It always gives you a little bit more coverage. When I'm applying foundation, I always blend it from the centre out, just so there's not loads of product gathered around my hairline. So this foundation gives a really beautiful luminous glow, but without looking too dewy on the skin. I love the fact that it doesn't look too wet looking. Like a lot of foundations that say that they are glowy or luminous or radiant tend to look a little bit wet, and I find that's when they start coming off throughout the day, where with this foundation it's got the glow but it's not too dewy looking, so you get that real longevity out of the foundation. It doesn't budge, it doesn't move around, and it's really good for all skin types as well. So this foundation is around a medium coverage, so sometimes if I've got any spots and blemishes, like I've got a little bit of pigmentation here, it does show through just a little bit, so I would maybe just pinpoint those areas with a bit of concealer if you do have any spots and blemishes, rather than going all over with a really heavy coverage foundation for every day. I feel like this is a really comfortable foundation wearing day to day, but I would also wear it if I was going out as well because I just love the finish of it. So next I'm going to use the NYX Born to Glow concealer. I didn't actually think that I would ever find a really good affordable concealer, but this is about £8 and I absolutely love it. It gives a bit more of a glow, it's quite hydrating under the eye, so it really doesn't dry out that under eye area. It's really good if you've got fine lines or sort of any texture, because it won't dry out and sort of accentuate any lines under the eyes. It does have a bit of a glow, which I love. My skin's a little bit more dry, so I do prefer products to have a bit more sort of nourishing ingredients in them, so I think that's why I really like this. Now I have got fake tan on, so this is coming up a little bit lighter than usual. You can go sort of 1 to 2 shades lighter if you do really want to brighten the under eye area, but you just have to be careful if you've got darkness under the eyes, because you're going to need to colour correct that area first. I'm just using a sort of fluffy brush just to blend this all out. I have obviously got eye makeup on already, so I'm just really carefully getting into the corners because I am a little bit dark in the inner corners as well. Next I'm going to use the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish Powder just to set all of my makeup. I love this powder because, again, like the other products, it gives a really radiant glow and it's not drying on the skin. I find if I use translucent powders, sometimes they kind of show up open pores, and I don't really have open pores. It kind of makes me look like I've got open pores, so that's why I love this powder. It's got some colour in it, it's just like a sheer coverage, so it will give you a little bit more coverage on your skin. I don't ever bake, I just find sometimes less is more. Sometimes if you put more, especially base products on your skin, it can make you look older. It can kind of sit in any creases, especially if you've got any sort of texture on the skin at all. It can just accentuate that. So yeah, sometimes less is more when it comes to makeup, so I just use a little bit of powder just to take that shine away. I do get a little bit oily through the day as well, so I feel like this just really helps reduce those oils. So on top of that, I'm going to use my London Copyright Contour Palette. You've probably seen me using this loads in videos, and you can tell how much I love it because I've hit the pan on one of the shades here. But this is a really nice all-round contour palette. It's really good for makeup artists as well because it's got a few different shades in there. So if you're using it for your kit, it's really good because it's nice to have all the colours, you know, compact together. So I'm going to use this colour here, which is called Sublime, and I'm actually using a London Copyright contour brush to go with that as well. So when you're contouring, you want to really kind of feel where your cheekbones are, and I just place the product just underneath the cheekbone. So it's kind of usually sort of around the top of your ear, and I'm just blending that down about halfway, so I'm not taking it all the way down towards my mouth. And I'm just buffing that into my skin in an upwards motion, just so it really helps lift my cheekbones. Now I really love this palette because the tones in there are a little bit more cooler, which is absolutely perfect for when you're contouring, but also the pigment goes on so smooth. That was one of the things that I noticed straight away, that my skin looked really like velvety smooth. And I'm just going to use the lighter shades just to go around the edge of my forehead a little bit, just to break it up. Next I'm going to use a bit of blusher, and this is by MAC in the shade Warm Soul. I absolutely love this blusher because it doesn't really clash with anything, so it doesn't matter what lip colour or what eye makeup you've got on or what outfit you're wearing, it just seems to go with absolutely everything. So I use this a lot on myself and on my clients as well, and I'm just going to use a slightly fluffier brush to apply this. With my blusher, I tend to go a little bit more on the apples of my cheeks, and I just blend it up into my contour so it all kind of melts together. So next I'm going to use my very much loved and very much used MAC highlighter, and this is in the shade Double Gleam. So I thought I'd just show you a swatch of this so you can really see the colour, but it's a really nice neutral shade highlighter. So again, perfect for any kind of style makeup. This is a Morphe blending brush that I'm using, and I'm just popping it right on the top of my cheekbones, and I did use it on my brow bone a little bit earlier as well. I just popped off camera quickly just to do my bottom lash mascara and finish my lip. I really hope you enjoyed tuning in and watching sort of what products I use to create my base makeup. I'd love for you to let me know in the comments what you think, and also what would you like to see in my next tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one.